Boys with boats. Tensui's face betrays nothing as he looks you up and down. You wish to pay the ruby tithe, yes? With your gil, perhaps? It is just as well. Foreign currencies are in demand these days. I would pay for their passage to Othard. Does this sum meet with your satisfaction? The sea has been quite tempestuous of late. I cannot say with confidence that you would reach your destination safely, unless you tripled it. Do you take me for a fool? I know the price, as do all. Alas, we live in interesting times. As you came from Kugane, I should think I need not tell you that. The shadow of war looms. The wise and the cautious shirk our waters and our custom, and the foolhardy sharpen their knives in anticipation. Meaning? Sir, you've got to come quickly. The bastards are at it again. I tried to convince them to stop, but they weren't having it. Ah, very well. I will be there shortly. A proposition. Your comments strike me as a worthwhile investment. I would not hear men name me a cat before Kobin. So I shall consider their tithe paid. Not for what they have done, but for what I expect they will do. I'm not sure what to make of that man, but at least the matter of our tithe is settled, for now. What was that he said and the other pirate were talking... Or what was that he and the other pirate were talking about? Maybe we ought to go and have a look. Somebody's up to no good. But is it Garleans? Is it Kojin of the Red?
Gentlemen, I'm told you were most unreceptive to my associate's requests. I realize you do not look kindly on the Confederacy and her ways, but if you refuse to pay the ruby tithe, your safety in these waters cannot be assured.
Spare me your concern, pirate. Your feeble attempts at extortion will not work on us.
So Garleans, and I think I saw Kojin there, which are of the Red. They're with the Garlean.
You remain at large because we allow it. Because you are such insignificant little pests that we see no need to swat you. But if you wish to risk the ire of the Viceroy, by all means, fire upon an Imperial vessel. Give us a reason to bring the full might of the Garlean Empire to bear against your pathetic fleet.
Bastards!
Gentlemen, surely the fact that you have such limitless resources at your disposal gives you all the more reason to spare some few coins for the less fortunate.
All talk, just as I thought. Come, let us away. I have no time for this rubbish.
We're all the same to them, aren't we? Savages to be ruled or slaughtered.
They've always balked at paying the ruby tithe, but they were never so eager to pick a fight. The problem, you see, is that many of my comrades in the Confederacy are of Doman descent, and the acting viceroy, well, she's none too fond of Domans, to say the least. If we take any action to hinder the safe passage of an Imperial vessel, she'll accuse us of attempting to foment rebellion and brand us enemies of the Empire, which we can ill afford to be. Like the man said, we're all talk.
And where did the Kojin stand in all this?
With the winning side, of course. They're mercenaries to a fault, eager to offer their services without coercion. The Shellback could tell you more, though something tells me he would rather not.
I don't understand. If the Garleans are causing the Confederacy this much trouble, and if so many of you are Doman to begin with, why aren't you willing to fight back?
Spoken like a true friend of the Doman Liberation Front. If you're planning to rouse us with noble words and grand promises, don't bother. We all know what the Imperial Army can do. Compared to them, we're boys with boats. Besides, what ties a man may once have held to his home are forsaken upon joining the Confederacy. We look out for none but our own. Be that as it may, our livelihood is under threat, and the captain will need to decide soon whether we're to go down in a blaze of glory, or bow and scrape for crumbs from the Empress' table. All while our friend the Viceroy continues her purge of Doma's radical elements. I believe she's holding court in one of the fishing villages even as we speak.
That she-devil! Her perfidy knows no bounds! She must be stopped! Come, let us find Soroban and put us here at once!
Tell the others that these ones have paid. We all have places to be.
Doma is but one of many provinces under Imperial control, filled with people who have had to find ways to cope with a bitter reality. So they really don't care what happens to Doma. I refuse to believe that. What are we waiting for? Come, come, Soroban cannot have gone far. Though, now that I think on it, it is passing strange that he left without warning. Mayhap he did not wish to be seen by his Kojin brethren? I doubt he thought to leave us behind, but nevertheless, it may be prudent to return to his ship, or at least to the Confederate encampment. I don't know when we're going to get there, but the Kojin of the Blue, like, village or outpost or whatever, is really cool. Oh, further down. Oh, there it is. I'm sure he has his reasons for his odd behavior, and I should like very much to hear them. Trust requires honesty. Ha! I told you he would not abandon us. Oh, good, he's still here. Oh, my friends, 1,000 pardons. As you may have guessed, I was reluctant to be seen in your company by my red brothers. Ours is a complex relationship. I pray you do not misinterpret their actions as a reflection of our allegiances as a whole. You understand? Kami be praised. Too often our shell is quick to judge all Kojin for the deeds of one. Right then, now that our business with Tensui is concluded, we can traverse the Ruby Sea without fear. I suppose that shall have to suffice for now. Ha! I told you he would not abandon. Okay. So we can leave for Authard, right? To bend with the wind. Soroban is in high spirits. I shall return to the ship and prepare for our departure. If you have any remaining business to conduct with the pirates here, I pray you do so now. And that reminds me. Lavenza, would you be so kind as to inform the Confederates of our plans? The more they know of our movements, the less likely we are to be mistaken for another vessel by their comrades. Oh, you're one of the Aijin from the beach. Leaving us already? No need to pay the tithe, like Tensui said. On the other hand, if you were to peruse our wares and find anything to your liking, we should be glad to sell it to you for a fair price. Even if we need not fear the Confederacy, there is no telling what manner of Imperial presence we will find waiting for us. We must be careful. What are we standing around for? Did you not hear what Tensui said? The Viceroy must be stopped. Next stop, Authard. And Doma. We're coming, Yugiri. Yeah, it's interesting, the story arc, you know, between Gosetsu and Yatsuyu. I look forward to seeing that again. You have spoken with the Confederates up above, then. Okay, you have spoken with the Confederates up above, then. Excellent. If you are ready to depart, we may do so at any time. What will you say? All aboard or one moment? All aboard. Then let us be off. I shall deliver you to the fishing village of Isari. Wait, Tensui said that the Viceroy was holding court in one of the fishing villages, did he not? Should Isari chance to be the village in question, we could instantly find ourselves surrounded by Imperial soldiers. I think it's safer to come ashore some distance away. Very well. I know just the place. It would have been silly to try to swim all the way here, at least this time. Still have your bearings? I know it can be difficult when you're on the water. At long last, I am returned to my homeland. Here we are. I'm reasonably certain none bore witness to our approach. And with this, I believe I have fulfilled the terms of our arrangement. Aye, that you have. You have my deepest thanks, Sorban. Truly, we are blessed to have befriended such a clever and industrious merchant. Oh, you are much too kind, good sir. I know not where your path may lead, but I wish you the very best, and hope that we shall meet again. So we finally arrived in Othard. All we need to do now is liberate Doma. Ah, yes, that. Look, daunting though it is, we do have one thing in our favor. The element of surprise. Unlike in Garabania, the Imperials don't know we're here. Admittedly, that may be our only advantage, considering how few of us there are. Well, I expect the Doman Liberation Front will even up the odds a bit. But before all that, we need to see if this is the fishing village Tansui was talking about. It may well be. I smell ceruleum on the breeze. And this is our introduction to Yatsuyu.
Even accounting for the rebellion, such indiscriminate shows of force seem pointlessly excessive.
If only you knew how commonplace such scenes have become. Are we too late?
Over there, someone's coming.
Oh, and there's our dude. He's made it all the way out here too.
It is she, sworn enemy of Doma, of my master. The traitor who sold her homeland to the Garleans. Yotsuyu.
The Viceroy herself. And look behind her. Isn't that...
Birthday boy.
Filth and squalor everywhere I look. How very Doma. What I wouldn't do for a drink. Come now. You've no reason to look so afraid. You have lived through a quarter of a century of Garlean rule, remember? 'Tis better to bend with the wind than stand tall and be broken. Therein lies hope. Therein lies freedom. I come before you today seeking affirmation. A heartfelt declaration. You are free to answer me as you see fit, yet even the least among you should know the correct response. Should. A resident of your village, one of your neighbors, mayhap your friend, was detained by the Kojin this morning. They say he was attempting to flee to Kugane, but we both know that simply isn't true, don't we? Have you anything to say? Bit slow, this one. Is there anyone more sensible among you? Have any of you anything to say? To swear?
My lady, I swear to serve the Empire, to do whatever is asked of me, and never disobey.
Well said, that man. Of course, it wouldn't do to simply take you at your word. Kill him. Surely you can do that much. He must be guilty of something or other, or he wouldn't have attempted to flee the Empire.
I have a family. Kami, forgive me. Kami, forgive me.
Very, very good. I've always had a soft spot for men like you. Next, I want you to shoot those two over there. Too old to work, you understand. A burden on the Empire, and we can't have that.
But they're my parents. You can't expect me to...
What will you say? We will show them no mercy. We can't, not now. I think I remember going for the we will show them no mercy at the time. And it was clearly wrong. So, we can't, not now.
She's right. They would simply take the villagers hostage. We must consider the wider picture. If we act recklessly, we risk alerting the Garleans to our presence here, making it that much harder for us to work with the local rebels, to say nothing of the reprisals ordinary civilians would be made to suffer.
Open your eyes, girl. They are already suffering. Let me go. I am putting an end to this madness.
He's also a
I
local.
will approach the village alone and identify myself. As a former leader of the rebellion and a known fugitive, they will wish to detain me until they are certain they have learned all I know. Use this time to make your plans.
You saw what those monsters did to the villagers. Who knows what they'll do to you, assuming they don't kill you where you stand?
We live and die at the pleasure of the Kami. My fate is in their hands and no others. If it be of any comfort, I am no stranger to chains.
You can't expect us to stand idly by as a comrade goes marching off to his death. And this is nothing like Kugane.
Nor is it like the Reach, Lise, or the Wall. Let him go. Hold out for as long as you can, but remember, noble sacrifices are to remain an absolute last resort. I wish I could say it won't come to that, but only the gods know how we're going to get you and the others out in one piece. A miracle, perchance.
A great tower stands to the north and east. Look to its occupants for aid and succor. Together, you may yet find your miracle. Now, leave this place. I must go.
Oh. Another idiot like all the rest. I'm beginning to think it may be something fundamental. Something intrinsic. Something quintessentially Doman to ignore the simple truth. You can't do a damn thing if you're dead.
Enough, Yotsuyu!
Well now, this is a surprise.
Hear me, Yotsuyu! Cease this farce, here and now, and I shall surrender myself to you. Refuse, and all shall answer to my blade.
Bring him to the tavern.
Yotsuyu is such an interesting character. Like, obviously, she is a horrible person that does horrible things. But, like, as we'll see as we get more through the story, like, the amount she has suffered under, you know, what she sees as just, you know, what Domans did to her. I can kind of... I don't know that it's I guess it's not empathize, but it is understand. You know, the hatred in her heart. You know, eventually when somebody or a group of people beats you so much. I mean, it's kind of that opposite of, you know, the way Garleans see everybody as savages or whatever. I mean, obviously she speaks as if, like, Domans are savages or whatever, but I think that's more words, less meaning there to her. I think she just says it just to kind of, you know, poke at them or whatever. And it's, I don't know, it's just, it's a hatred. It's a, you know, these are just, you know, the devils in her life or whatever. Again, I like the complexity in the villains in this game. You know, it's never just people being evil for the sake of being evil. And even at this point, you know, like what we would know of Gaius it does kind of appear that way, but then we get more context to him later. You heard him. Let's go. I hate it as much as you, maybe even more. Every fiber of my being was crying out to intervene, but what's done is done. Gosetsu's gamble has gifted us the time we need to find a solution. He bade us seek aid at the distant tower, yes? For want of a better idea, I say we do just that, while taking care to avoid the Imperials. Well, that'll be easy enough. I've never done beyond, like, the initial floors of Heaven on High. I would love to, like, I want to actually complete Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High. I just, you know, it's like finding a group to do it. Ooh. She's right. This is not like the Reach. This is worse. They were defenseless. We seem to have evaded their patrols so far. What is that tower, anyway? I've never seen anything like it. According to my map, we are on Anokoro, and the tower is known as Heaven on High, a mysterious structure built long ago by persons unknown. Oh gods, listen to me, I'm starting to sound like Alphino. Next thing you know, I'll be saying things like, as you are doubtless already aware. Over there, do you see it? A dead beast. Doesn't look like it's been dead long. Whoever did this, they're a good shot. I can't see a single stray arrow. Well, someone's hungry. Wait, that wasn't either of you two, was it? Calm down. We had nothing to do with... Wait, what am I doing? They can't possibly understand us. Probably not, no. Time to run, Lise. We save our strength for any that give chase. You too, Lavenza. Oh, I do have to actually fight some of them. Well, looks like they've killed themselves a pair as well. Phew, that went better than expected. Just imagine if they had taken us by surprise. What a fine ending that would have been to our story. Anyway, I think it's safe to assume that the people at the tower know how to defend themselves. You'd have to, sharing an island with these things. Now all we need to do is convince them to help us. That emote or whatever is just that Lisa's doing is just so over the top. Like nobody does that. I mean, maybe a little bit of this, you know, but the whole leaning over, it's just every time I see it, it just seems so, I don't know, animated, over the top. So that's the way of it. Oh, there's a settlement here. And they've even got their own aetheryte. Wait a minute. I've seen that standard before. It was when we met with Tensui, which means this place belongs to... Oh. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join me live, the link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Thank you again, and you have a good one.